What's up, everyone? We're gonna try this audit today. I'm gonna go check out my ex-employer, tell you about some dirty deeds from them. The update today is Thursday, the 28th, September 28th, and the Sheriff's Department, Criminal Sheriff's Department, still refuses to give me any of my stuff back. And we can't just be, I can't be allowing this shit to happen. So I'm gonna walk along the public easement, stir up some feathers, right? I had something else going on. Probably shouldn't talk too much about yet at the moment. But had some stuff going on that involved the employer, and it looks like this whole damn system's corrupt, because the guy investigating it gets a hold of me, makes it sound like something other than it was, and makes me think, tries to make me believe that I signed this paper and you know, I'll be golden. But the truth is, when the truth come out, as the truth come out, it turns out that no, they need to continue doing their job. But these people over here, Hornish Brothers Trucking, thinks that they can just get away with whatever they want. And you know, they got so much money and clout around here, and they're so high in their things they're doing. They're so high up with their little club that they want to pretend that they get their way on everything. They say it, it happens, okay? You don't have no rights, and they're going to squash your rights as much as they want. But let's check them out. So this here is Hornish Brothers Trucking. They AKA Fountain City Leasing. Fountain City Leasing, it's all the same thing. And then the building right behind it is Advanced Powder Coating. They shut down once, now they seem to be operating again over there where all them cars are. That's Advanced Powder Coating. Now they own all this buildings through here. They originally, this is what kind of people we're dealing with. My dad, when I was when I was still a kid, my dad drove truck for them, and he was driving truck for them, and you know, for years, and they were hardly anything at that time. They had hardly anything, but they were, then they, you know, kept in business and ran up to this, and you know, they talk like, they try to pretend they're so great people. But when my dad passed away, when I was working for them and my dad passed away, and when that happened, they didn't even give me no bereavement pay, you know? I mean, I'm just saying, this is the kind of people they are. And if you ever have any issues that the supervisor don't like, then they are real nice and quick to point out, you know, if you have if the supervisor don't like something you're bringing up a concern, then his answer is to call in Miss Hornish, the lady who runs it now. She's a top dog, right? They call them in, and then she comes in with a big file folder, right? And she tries to ease your concerns by telling you, bringing out this file and letting you know everything that they have, that you own, right? And then she tries to tell you that, oh, it's because of them that you own it. And if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have nothing. Ignoring the fact that it's their employees that make them rich. And instead, they want to pretend that you owe them, right? And that's just the kind of people we're dealing with here. So they own all them buildings back there, and they own and run Advanced Powder Coating. They own and run Hornish Brothers Trucking and Fountain City Leasing. Fountain City Leasing is the company that I technically worked for. And they do that so that nobody can bring any claims against Hornish. They claim nobody works for Hornish, and that's a lie. But this is the kind of people. So you got APC on the sign there. That's Advanced Powder Coating. Sorry about all the noise here. We're off the 281. This is the main highway here, and so that sign is Advanced Powder Coating. This other sign is, where is it at here? Hornish Brothers Trucking Incorporated. And these are and the race car is gone, it looks like. Usually there's a race car in there. Their son was a racer. So anyway, this is what we're dealing with here, these pricks. And they get away with anything they want. Now, what I want to bring out is there's a lot of confusion here. When my employer, I got somebody checking me out. One of the bosses. You got a problem? Call the police. Call them, because then maybe they'll show up for a concern. I'll guarantee you it's not going to take long for a sheriff to get out here, because they're going to be like, hey, this guy's out here filming us. What's he think he's doing? Okay, so what I want to get at, I'm a little bit all over the place right now, but this employer, so anyways, so there's a lot of confusion. A lot of people think I was charged, and they assume I'm guilty, because the confusion is that people believe I was charged, and the company didn't like that and fired me. Now, that's not the case. If anybody's been watching and paying attention to my videos, the real case is that I got charged with a crime I didn't commit, and these working inside that building. Okay, give you a little background here. Working inside their building right in there is 3 city council members. Okay, all of Hornish's managing members, all the company's managing members, every person that's a supervisor on up is in the Masons, and that's just a fact. And 3 of them are on the city council that work inside this building, and one of them is city council, and also very heavily connected to the sheriff's department. His wife is the head of the man unit. The man unit's a drug unit around here from the sheriff's department. And they are, so anyways, so I got charged unlawfully by the sheriff's department. They violated my rights, and when they did so, when they violated my rights, I kept on going with it, kept trying to fight it peacefully, properly, and doing it right through court like you're supposed to. And instead of this company realizing that, because they knew it, anytime I was asked, I told everybody about it, that instead of them wondering why the sheriff came onto their property to arrest me with no right to do so, with no proper reason to do so, instead of sticking up for me and telling the sheriff's department they should have stuck it, instead they smells like something's burning over here. Instead, they chose to act against me, because I told my lawyer I wasn't taking any deal, and my lawyer, who screwed me, kept on trying to talk me into a deal. And finally I said, no, I told you I'm not taking no deals. You go tell him to knock his shit off and drop the case. You tell Troy Essex to drop his case, this unlawful case against me, otherwise I'm going to sue him for violating my rights. Now when I did that, after I did that, that was almost 4 months. It was like about 3 months after 3 months and some days after I had gotten charged. They didn't care. I was working in there, and this building right here used to be the advanced powder coating. It's moved, well, right where that truck's going through their FedEx, this building, there's the front, but right there where the cars are parked, I worked in there, and that's where we work on their trucks. It was changed from being a factory to being the place where we work on the trucks. And I was working, and then in this building there's a restroom with a nasty shower in there, and I was working the whole time, living out of my truck, my pickup truck, and they knew it, and showering there, and they knew that the troubles I was going through, and they allowed me to still work. They didn't care about I was charged or anything. It wasn't until I threatened to sue the prosecutor and the sheriff's department, and then when I threatened to sue, they then took it upon themselves to fire me. And that's exactly what happened. And I was, her exact words to me when she fired me was, she started talking to me about my issues, and I said, well, if you must know, it was a corrupt sheriff's department that violated my rights. And then she got upset and said, oh, you know how many people claim that? And I said, well, you know how many times it's probably true? And then she goes, and I said, furthermore, my personal life is not a matter of my employment. And that's when she looked at me and said, well, if you can't talk to me about your personal problems, it's not going to work out here. That's what she fired me for. They was looking for an excuse, of course, because then when they fired me, I couldn't afford. And so here's the thing I'm saying. These guys are so powerful that I've not even been able to secure a good paying job, okay? I can take some shit paying job that ain't gonna do me any good. You know, why would I do that? But so instead, they chose to fire me for their henchmen, so I wouldn't be able to fight my legal battles. And when I tried to get my unemployment, they beat me out of that. And the unemployment office told me if I want to fight it, that I would have to take it through the local court here, which I was already calling out for stuff, so why would I do that, you know? And so instead, you know, they fired me. Then I wasn't able to fight my stuff, and now here's the result. Now here I am in the sheriff's department. Once that happened, then the court and the sheriff's department continued to hit me harder and harder. So now here I am homeless, and now the sheriff's department took, as you've seen on the video, took all of my stuff, won't let me have my stuff. It's well over a month now, and refused to give me my stuff back. Do I think this company's involved in that? I certainly do, because one other thing you'll notice in one of my videos, I said that I had these recordings of stuff that was said between these city council people whenever I was around, and there's certain things I have recordings of. And when I said that, you know, so the point about that is that, do I think that, yeah, so I believe they took possession of all of my property so that I wouldn't have access to those recordings. But the truth is, I have those recordings. As soon as I knew better, so I have a certain person has possession of them, a person I will not disclose at this time for reasons, and because some of these recordings are pretty damning, and I'm trying to handle this without ruining people's other people's lives, you know what I'm saying? But I could release them, but instead, you know, but if something should happen to me, this person has been instructed to make sure those recordings get out. I told him exactly where to send them to, and I told him who also has a copy. One of those recordings, I'll tell you about this company, is back there on APC, Advanced Powder Coating. Long before I worked here, a young man got killed in an accident here while he was at work, and that accident shows that part of that accident, it was a grinder, the grinder wheel. If anybody knows what those are, great big grinder wheel where they cut down metal or whatever. It's a great big grinder wheel, huge, But turns out they were using the wrong equipment on their grinder. Hold on a second, please. Something might be wrong with my lens. Anyway, the thing is, their grinders, they had, at the time when that happened, their grinders was rated. The grinder wheels they had were using cheap, because they wanted to save a buck. They were using cheap generic grinder wheels that were not rated for the machinery. And so one of them come apart, and as it came apart, it sliced this guy up and killed him, Well, what this company did, and they told the third shift maintenance guy to go ahead and that night, told the third shift maintenance guy was ordered to go around and get all the tags off the grinder wheels. That way it wouldn't look like they knew. The thing is, they knew they were using cheap ass equipment. They knew that, they were 100% responsible for that. And they did that, and that way OSHA came in and instead just charged them for a little bit of safety violations, for safety equipment on the machines that was missing, just some stupid stuff that would have never hurt the person. The thing is, the grinder wheel that they were using was cheap junk that they should never been using, but they did use it knowingly, and it cost the guy his life. Of course, they're going to keep that hush hush. That's just one example of these nasty people here. That's just the kind of people they are. Money talks to them, and they don't care about your life, okay? And so instead of sticking up for me, a damn good employee that several years in a row, they gave me raises to keep me from quitting, suddenly I'm a problem once I start threatening to sue these assholes, right? Not the company, but the sheriff's department and the city law director. So, which are all connected to this company. And this company chose to side with them. And when I wouldn't let up, they chose to fire me. And now, to keep me from being able to finance myself, to prevent me from getting anything done in my legal matters, they're also making sure that I don't get to a decent paying job, that I can't, there's no reason some of these jobs, the only ones that are even trying to call me are the ones that it ain't worth it in pay. It won't make me any better off than I am, so why should I do it? That's how nasty this company is. This whole town, this whole city of Defiance, they used to have signs up when you enter into Defiance that says, a great place to live. And as it turns out, those signs are now down. You can't find them signs anymore because, well, of course, how would you be able to find, because why would they have that up there? Because everybody knows it's not a great place to live. I'm gonna get a minute here and cross the road. We'll get a little bit closer. See what happens down here. But nah, my mind's a little messed up right now. I don't remember all the things I wanted to say. So that's one thing about, now I got other recordings from these guys. It's all a big scam around here. And Anyway, so and back in there's where I worked, and when they fired me, I said nicely, I said, well, because they allowed other people, right in there, right in that doorway is where I worked on semi trucks. And when they fired me, I said, okay, do you mind if I leave my toolbox here until I figure out what I'm gonna do, so I don't have to move it 100 times. And they said, oh, no problem. But immediately after I signed up, tried to get unemployment, they called me. I even got the email saved. You need to get here before Friday and get this toolbox out of here. Suddenly, I wasn't allowed to keep my toolbox here, and I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. It's a great big heavy toolbox. Borrowed my friend's trailer. My strap broke, and then right there on this road, right about where that fire hydrant is, the strap broke and my toolbox fell off the trailer. Smashed my toolbox all over the tools laying all over the place. All because these guys wanted to be dicks. That's the kind of company we're dealing with. I could tell you stuff that would get them in trouble with the DOT, stuff they want us to worry about. I did my job. I made sure everything was safe and nobody could be harmed. Them trucks got down the road. Trucks and trailers got down the road safely. But they don't care. So right over here is General Motors, Defiance powertrain. It's there's hardly anything left of this. It used to be you couldn't see anything for all the cars parked here. They used to employ like 3,000 to 4,000 people, something like that. And now they're down to a few hundred. And this is where they did, this is the foundry where they poured the iron blocks and heads. They're trying to convert it over to aluminum. But so Hornish bought property and built their advanced powder coating. The only thing they ever powder coated was General Motors products. And that's the they put all their eggs in General Motors, and that, they can't get off their tit or whatever. I don't know how many times we were slow and had hardly nothing to do because General Motors was slow, because they didn't want to find other work to do. Actually, one time they found some other work to do, which was pretty nice for the drivers and us mechanics. It was lighter loads they were hauling, which made less strain on the trucks. So it made stuff go a lot smoother, but they couldn't even, this company just can't get their shit together, and they tried to screw everybody, and so that they lost their contract with that. But so right here's General Motors, and then you got this road here that goes back to the water pollution control site that goes back in there, and then from there, then on this side of the road is all the Hornish owns all this stuff. They own all there's a couple of little factories back in there, but Hornish, I don't know how much they're connected to them, but they do own the buildings. And yeah, I got a lot of dirt on a lot of these people, and they're trying to keep me hush hush. Well, the more they want to act like this, the worse it's going to get, so, but they're, am I going to say they don't have a lot of pull and a lot of power? No, because I'm finding out, even with unemployment, and even now with this case I got about my Civil Rights Commission thing, nobody wants to go against them. And, these people are just something else. I'm not sure what TPAM is. They might be renting some shit out for somebody else, who knows. Dirty, rotten people, though. And shit. Give you a little more background. They're filthy rich and waste their money, and a lot of them riches they get because the Miss Hornish, Sam Hornish, started the company, and his wife, Miss Hornish, is so much percent Indian, and they get all this, there's several families around this area, they get all this Indian money, a big chunk every month, or however often they get all this money for being Indian. And so I'll give you something else they done on when the whole pandemic thing happened. And I gotta watch what I say because you get censored out for talking about that thing. But when that all happened, this company, Miss Hornish is also a board member of this certain bank around here, and that she went through that bank and got the Paycheck Protection Program for us, right? So so the Paycheck Protection Program, here's what a lot of people don't understand. My problem with that is the Paycheck Protection Program had the Paycheck Protection Program, was supposed to be if a company was struggling because of the pandemic and they didn't have no work for people, because, as a lot of places didn't, if they didn't have no work for people, then they, if they didn't have work for people, then you get the Paycheck Protection Program, right? Other companies done it too, right? Well, the problem is they did have work. They were getting paid by General Motors over there to haul their stuff, but instead, for a few weeks before they laid us off, and we were already slow, not because nothing to do with the pandemic, we were slow because they weren't lining up enough contracted work from some of these other companies, and instead, they were losing contracts to other companies of the GM stuff they were hauling to New York and stuff like that. Well, they laid us off, and then a couple of weeks later brought us back and said, good news, we got the Paycheck Protection Program we're bringing you back with. The fact is they were getting paid. We had work to do. We had just as much work to do as we always did, before it happened anyway, before the pandemic, right? And instead they brought us back and then made us come in an extra 2 hours, added 2 hours onto us, and but paid us a straight pay under the Paycheck Protection, so because of that, they, you know what I'm saying? They pocketed all the profits while paying us through taxpayer money. So the thing is, that's 100% slavery. That's worse than slavery. We were paying ourselves to work. I don't know. It seems like some people don't. It seems like some of the stuff I talk about, some of these people just can't understand it. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is, I'm a taxpayer. When I'm working, you're taking taxes out of me. Our taxes are going to pay this Paycheck Protection Program and other stuff, right? The stuff that you want to give Trump all this credit, but he's the one that allowed it. And so we were paying ourselves to work. What kind of shit is that? Okay, that's, they had me in here, back in there. Okay, this is some dangerous work, working on these heavy equipment. It's not, you could get hurt easily. They had me in here on third shift by myself. Okay, that should have been an OSHA violation in itself, and I worked back here for months on third shift all alone. If I would have got hurt, no one would have known it until like 6 in the morning. So, I'd have been laying there dead by the time anybody got there. But nobody cares about that, right? These guys get away with what they want. Now, I'm going to be walking on the public easement, and we'll see a little bit closer today. You can't see none of their trailers anyone don't understand what I'm talking. On the back of these trailers, every single one of them, it was a rule. If we seen one without it, we had to put it on there. It says, we support all law enforcement. Of course they do. They're heavily connected to this law enforcement around here, right? They support all law enforcement. That's nice. They don't support their employees. They don't support anything good. They greedy bastards is what they are, and it's all corrupt, and they're the ringleaders of it. They're the ringleaders of it. This whole company is ran by, the Masons, which is, the club that the Blue Line Gang is henchmen for, and they're so Mr. Sam Hornish is like the head one in this area. They got 2 of those $1 million RVs. I'll see if I can post a sample picture of one. You know, one of those great big fancy campers that like rock stars use, like tour buses, you know, more fancy than a house inside. They got 2 of those. You know, us being, I was allowed to work on it, but I was never allowed to step in and look inside it because my feet might get it dirty. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they are. I think I got somebody getting ready to talk to me. That's Hornish right there. That's Hornish Brothers Trucking. Fountain City Leasing, Advanced Powder Coating. How's it going?
All right. You got nothing better to do today?
Nope.
I think we're going to make one of your videos, huh?
Yeah, sure are. That's what happens to dishonest companies. I said, that's what happens to dishonest companies. Oh, it's fact. That there is Mr. Steve Corbett. He's a city council member. They sent, looks like he's on the phone, so go ahead and call the police, right? I don't know how much the camera microphone picked up, but it says, hello, how's it going, Mr. Steele? What's up? You got nothing better to do? No, I don't. Got nothing better to do. You guys ruined my fucking life. I got nothing better to do. I think he's on the phone with the police, so I'll stand here and see if they get out here. Gonna make one of your videos. Yeah, you're gonna make one of my videos. We're gonna, you know, if you're corrupt around here, I'm coming. I don't care if it has to do with me. Anybody's got something that you want to report in this area, let me know. If you even further away, I mean, if you want me to come check out stuff further away, you'll have to send me some gas money. Sorry, I don't have, I'm penniless right now. Like I said, the sheriff's department took my stuff and my safe with all my savings in it, every penny I had. So I've been living penniless, trying to get by. Once in a while, borrow money to, if he's called the sheriff, I want to wait here and see how long it takes them. So he's on the phone right now. Maybe to them, I can't guarantee that. It's 12:38. So we'll see what happens here, right? If they show up, then I'm gonna live stream. Hey, what's up? You got nothing better to do? Fuck no, I ain't got nothing better to do. I could have had something better to do. I have plenty better to do, but you know, you guys, I'm prevented from doing it. Prevented from doing it. I'll tell you how else. Okay, that's Steve Corbett. He's city council. Mr. Steve Waxler is also, and I like these guys. I got along with them. But you know what? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Steve Waxler that's a different Steve. He's city council, and he's the one he's city council, and Waxler I'm talking about. He's city council, and also he is also the one that's connected to the sheriff's department, right? And when all my stuff went down, he come over, he's talking to me about it. Him and a different employee, you know, acting like he says, oh yeah, you know, as if I don't know who he is. He says, well, you know, these guys are just, these people are, you know, that's the way it is or whatever. Then starts talking about how his son was, now we got somebody else pulling up, starts talking about his son got caught up in that mess, domestic violence. Well, obviously your son was guilty, because if you just ignored it, and meanwhile, I don't know what's going on here. Now we got somebody else checking in on me, filming me. What are you gonna film? I ain't doing shit wrong. Ha! Taking a picture of me. What we got going on there? Send them out here. We need to talk to the sheriffs anyway. So, and this is just outside this city limits, I believe. I'm not for sure where that city limits sign is. Oh, that one took a picture of me as Mike Ketchum. Okay. He one day smarted off to me, and I said, well, if you don't like it, fire me. And he got pissed off, said, you're fired. I no more than got on my couch and sat down. By the time I got home and they're calling me, oh, what happened? We don't want to lose you. That was before all of this stuff. Several times they gave me raises to keep me from quitting. But now suddenly I was a bad employee because I threatened to sue, right? Now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I forgot to get on the thing on we support all law enforcement on the back of those trailers. Okay, some of them are missing. Somebody's not doing their jobs. But you see, I can't get in there too well. You see that trailer there with shows the little truck without trucks. America stops. And then below that is a square one, caution or whatever. And then that little red and white sign right under it is we support all law enforcement. They must have gotten some newer trailers because I see quite a few of them are missing that sign, or they brought their old trailers back out. Somebody's gonna have to get on it. But, or maybe they stopped doing that once I started making these videos to get me, to make me look foolish. Oh, so anyways, like, okay, so Mr. Waxler, talks to me like, oh yeah, this is ridiculous. We can't. That's, they just don't care if you're innocent or not. Yeah, obviously you didn't either, dude. You were connected to them and you could have stood up for me and asked the sheriffs what were they doing, harassing me on your property without proof of a crime. But instead, you sided with the sheriff's department. See no sheriff shit. Maybe they didn't call the sheriff. Maybe the sheriff don't want to even talk to me. Who knows? Of course they don't. They got my shit. They got my stolen property. I've been violated by this company. I've been violated first by the sheriff's department. I wasn't blaming this company at all. I was showing up to work, doing my job like I should, and instead they a lot of heavy truck traffic going through here, so sorry about all the noise. But so the sheriff's department violated me and I was leaving it at that, and then I noticed the assistant city law director, Troy Essex, was hounding on me, wouldn't let up. So I kept fighting it with my lawyer, and then I found out my lawyer was hiding the proof to get me, that he could have had my whole case dropped, instead sided with them. So then so then when that happened, and then I threatened to sue, and these guys fired me. And so I'm, I don't know how to make that any more clear that these guys are 100% connected. They're behind it. Still no sheriff yet? We're gonna make this boring. Wonder what he was doing taking my picture. Probably gonna try to fight my case because I'm coming after them for their shit. They shouldn't have fired me wrongfully. That's just some employees. I don't wanna bug the employees. So if you notice, they have trucks here for sale. Anyone that buys one of these trucks are foolish. These trucks are ran into the ground. They're well over 1 million miles, and when they quit running them, it's because they're junk and ain't worth nothing no more. Still no sheriffs, huh? I thought this might be the only way to get the sheriff to respond to me. I guess he ain't going to though, huh? Yeah, so we got what, the paycheck protection, we got the employee who was, might as well call it murder. And what else? We got anything else? There is other stuff. I'm just, I didn't script none of this, didn't write none of this down. I'm sitting, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do to shower, what I'm gonna do to brush my teeth, what I'm gonna do. You know, this is rock bottom that they forced me into. What am I gonna do? Have something better to do today than to do this. Well, I realized my hands were tied, so instead I went ahead and decided, well, I guess I got nothing better to do, Mr. Corbett, so I'm gonna come and video around this place. They got one truck where they haul this sand for this certain sand for the molds or whatever. They haul it for GM. Well, the sand is heavily silica based. You can't breathe that shit in. But this dumb company forced us to work cutting plywood for some stupid stuff in the trailers. Instead of ordering trailers with the proper siding, they ordered these cheap ass trailers and then have us cut plywood without mass or anything else that's with cancer agents in it. And it's even, the plywood has warnings all over it. I got into it with the one supervisor. I said, hey, this shit's all over. This shit is, what we got here? Somebody else checking in on me? Anyway, and then that sand, and that sand's heavily silica based. You can't be breathing that shit in, but they would have us sweep it out, no mask or anything else. Let's see who's here checking me out. Maybe that was somebody turning around. I don't know, they were eyeing me. Maybe it's connected to the sheriff's department. They're sending people out here to see what I'm up to. Anyway, I guess they're gonna make this uneventful. Wait a minute, what we got here? Sheriff car? No. Nothing, huh? Oh, yep, there's sheriff down there turning around into the gas. What are they gonna try to pull on me? I see one turning over here. We're gonna get one to. I mean, there's a way you guys can get me to leave you alone, but you don't want to be honorable. Nobody wants to be honorable. So it's the building B here that is off the back of their big office is the advanced powder coating. Maybe they changed their name now. Maybe they're no longer advanced powder coating. Maybe that's what the TPAM is. So one of my videos, that must mean you guys are watching my videos, Mr. Corbett. I imagine you are, because you guys are city council. So, you know, thanks. Thanks for watching, you know. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, Mr. Corbett. Thank you. The rest of you city council, don't forget to like. Since you're going to watch my videos, go ahead and like them. Don't worry, I'm gaining a lot of following now. Subscribers, I'm up. I'm gaining more each day. So appreciate it. Appreciate all my viewers. You know, so since obviously you folks at Hornish are watching, oh, that vehicle just come back around again. Since you guys are obviously watching my videos, I want to let you know that we're gaining momentum here. So, you know, you had your chance to be honorable, but you choose not to. So now everybody's going to see how dishonorable you are. it don't appear we're going to have any action from the sheriff. They're probably saying, well, he's in his rights. We can't violate him anymore because he's got all this proof of these other violations. Got a Cadillac rolling in. You know, Cadillac usually means somebody, right? See who we got here. That might be an employee. I mean, I don't want to harass their employees at all. I'm still friends with some of these employees. I won't mention any names because then they'll be blackballed, I'm sure. Man, no action from the sheriffs, huh? You know, it's funny though. They knew right away. I was on the other side of the road when I first was filming, and they seen it right away that he was out here by the time I got over to this side, waiting for me to come up. Oh, are you gonna bless us on one of your videos? Yes, sir, I am. Don't you got anything better to do? No, sir, I don't. There's Mr. Waxler there. That's he's. They're likable enough people until they want to be little bitches for the company, you know. But that's him. That's in that black truck there, Steve Waxler. He's the one that is also city council, but also very heavily connected to the sheriff's department. And he's the one that hired me when I was in full club colors for the club I was in, thinking that they were keeping an eye on me. That's why they hired me. Well, I knew who they were, and they acted like I didn't know that they were all connected to all this stuff. So they didn't know that I was recording every time I was in conversations with them. And you know, some of it's good enough conversations. I got along with all these people until this stuff happened, and then they all become two-faced for the city, because Hornish runs this city. That's the damn truth. Still no sheriffs, huh? Maybe they're all on lunch. Well, I don't know what else to put on here. We go over here to the corner where the advertisements are. I don't want to get too close to the road here. Stupid drivers in this area. But we go over here. The city likes to act like there's something, you know, like but you go over here, and I want to show this because the Rib Fest is coming up, right? So they, right here, September 30, oh, that's this weekend. The Rib Fest, gates open at 3:30 p.m. I'll tell you about the Rib Fest. It's put on, they block off a big couple blocks of the city to do this Rib Fest. And that Rib Fest is, somehow they raise money to do it and they get donations to do it. But yet they charge anyone that wants to come in and check it out, they charge you just to get in. On this, they block off this couple blocks of the city, and if you want to go anywhere into that section, you have to pay to get in. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. You should not have to pay for that. So I guess a lot of the voting is this year. I didn't realize it. Mayor, my plan is to run for mayor. And but I didn't know. I thought it was next year, and come to find out it's this year. What we got? Anything? Man, can't get no sheriffs. Well, that tells you right there, he was, you know, the sheriff ain't made it out here. Probably, you know, they're done violating my rights. They know that eventually they're gonna get nailed. They're already in severe violation of my rights, but nobody's gonna do nothing about it. I don't really know what else to talk about right now. All kinds of stuff on my mind. My mind's all over the place because of all this stuff. We got over there is the yard spotter pulling a trailer, moving a trailer that was probably getting worked on. And that yard spotter is most likely is Mr. Paul Merriman. That's what he does all day. He does that, and then makes sure that he hides certain jobs that need to be done. He'll put them off to the side till the weekend comes, because he wants to make sure that there's always work to do on the weekend. When I started here, they mentioned nothing about working Saturdays, and then nothing at all about working Saturdays. And then my first week didn't say a word, and then Friday come along and Paul says, "Oh, well, we'll see you tomorrow." I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh yeah, we got work Saturday. We work Saturdays here." Well, I found out from a guy we call Scooter, a friend of mine in there. He's a second shift supervisor. He says, "No, it ain't. Saturdays aren't mandatory. We're here because the work is there." And I started paying attention to what was going on, and there was no work. It was we had not enough work is the thing. We had, in a week's time, in 5 days, you could have all your work done. Well, I started figuring it out after a couple of years. He would hide shit off to the side and then tell the bosses, "Well, we need to be in here on Saturday. We need to be in here on Saturday." It was only so he could be in here on Saturday till 10 in the morning, and he would leave and then make everybody else still be in, right? And that's what he was doing. Well, when I started having issues with Saturday, because Saturday's the Sabbath. And I was doing it just fine as long as the work is there. When I'm finding out that, hey, during the week, I'm not doing hardly crap, or I order parts and you claim that they're on back order, and then the weekend comes along, suddenly the parts are here, you know, I'm not good with that, because I can do my work during a regular work week and get it all done. And I always did. I always got my work done in a timely and professional manner. Good quality work, and none of them can deny that. Well, they didn't like that. Well, Paul didn't, so he called in Miss Hornish into a meeting, and that's when she met with me. "Oh, I hear you're having problems with this, you have some concerns." I said, "Yeah, I don't want to be in here on Saturday if I don't have to be." I was like, "If you guys truly have the work, that's one thing. If you do not have the work," here's a sheriff here waving at me. I don't know who that one is. Waving at me. Oh, that's nice. But that looked like, that might have been the one we talked to, Jake. That might have been him, it looked like. So yeah, he's nice enough. We want to get him for sheriff, I think. Him or Gary. They're the only two I'll give my respect to, because the rest of them totally 100% earned any disrespect that they get. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so she calls me in. He calls her over to a meeting because he couldn't get along with me, because I said, "Look, dude, I know what you're doing, and I don't want to be here." And it would have been between him and me, and he could have said, "Okay, well, as long as you get your work done, then that's cool." And what we got here? Broken pair of cop glasses. Oh, those are fun. Man, those could have been nice, huh? Well, shit. anyway, he didn't like that. Instead of just saying, yeah, that's, instead of saying whoever wants to volunteer, since there ain't really enough work, whoever wants to volunteer to do it, can do it, can come in. And instead, he says, he calls her into the meeting because everybody's scared to talk to the head honchos, right? The owners. And she comes in, and her and I's talking, and it's going all right. And then until I tell her how things are going, and she says, oh, are you calling Paul a liar? Getting upset with me. Are you calling Paul a liar? I've known him all these years. He wouldn't lie to me. And I looked at her and I said, look here, lady, I know that damn sure I'm not a liar, and I don't suggest you call me a fucking liar. And then she started cussing me out. So I started cussing her back out. And Paul was about shitting his pants, his face getting all red about shitting his pants. Nobody talks to them that way. She started laughing about it. And and there's one of the drivers I know. Gave him a wave, but I don't want to cause problems for any of these guys, right? Anyway, she started laughing about it and said, oh, I needed a good argument. No one talks to me that way. And I was like, well, I'm just telling you how it is, you know what? And she ended up giving me my Saturdays off and a raise, that's just, but now they're not like that no more. They, I didn't mind working here for a while, for most of the time. I did a good job if they treated me right. But it's once, I didn't even do nothing wrong to this company. The only thing I did wrong was threaten the city to sue them. Threaten the city law director. Anyways, I'm gonna make my way back this way and probably get off here because we ain't getting no action. So I'll go ahead and still put this up. Sorry for anyone that expected anything better out of this. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get these guys out here. They ain't gonna come talk to me, so I guess not the company, I mean the sheriff's, right? Have to find some other place to I want to do one around this police department, the city police department. I want to do an audit over there, and the all the courts, both courts. But, they know what's up, and the thing is, that's the problem, they know what's up, and so they're making sure not to go too far. Like when I went up to do my first one at the sheriff's department, the one where I ran into the door, when I went to do that, they acted, it was almost scripted, I mean, I'm sitting here telling people, get my words all confused while I'm talking because I haven't really thought it all out or scripted it all out. So I'm telling them, so I tell everybody, all you guys, I say, this ain't scripted. Then I walk up there and it almost seems scripted because the... All
right, man?
Yeah.
You twisting?
Nah. Anyway, so that was cool. Somebody from the city worker, just a regular worker, pulled up. Hey, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Anyway, offered me a Twizzler, but no thanks. What I was saying, what the hell was I saying? So anyway, he's still watching me. You gonna take some more pictures of me, buddy? Should I make my way back over that way? I don't know. That one is might catch them in that they all get company paid for vehicles, which is fine. I'm not, if you got that position and you get the, that's all fine. I'm not saying anything about that. But I'm just, people don't do shit but drive their trucks around all fucking day. And the pickups I'm talking about, not their drivers, the head honchos, they drive these pickups around all day. And they got nothing better to do but until this is probably some excitement for them, really. They usually don't got nothing better to do. Usually he just drives around the parking lot looking dumb. Anyways, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so I go up there and they got the signs are no longer up that, oh shit, there's a sheriff vehicle. So the signs are up that say, there used to be signs at the sheriff's department that said no filming, right? No cameras. And those signs were down when I went there. And so the thing is, I didn't really think about it too much, but those signs were already down and they weren't there. And I mean, I noticed it, but didn't think much about it. And then they're just sitting in there all nonchalant. Oh, hey, you know, that's because they were ready for me and they were waiting for it, right? And oh, there goes another sheriff. Okay, good. Now we're seeing them come around. And anyway, those you know, so they, you know, so now they're not harassing me so much because they know, they see the other videos, they see you other auditors out there now. Defiance County's trying to act like, oh yeah, we're all cool with everything. And that's not true. The sheriff's department used to always have no camera signs, right? And they were down when I went in there because it is your right, you know. It's our public services. And this is what we get for our tax dollars. Corrupt, you know, and we got no one in this state wants to come up and say, yeah, the sheriff's department is in the wrong. They don't even want to look into it. Yeah, the court's acting in the wrong. They don't want to look into it. I'm wondering now what's going on with my appeal. I've talked about in some of my videos. I really need that to win. I'm putting my faith in these judges of the appeals court. You know, I'm not calling any of them. I'm only calling local people out who are in violation, who are not properly doing their job. But I don't know who this is. But so sheriff, they're in an unmarked car, but you see the sheriff plate on it. He goes by it. Damn it, I didn't realize that's who it was. He goes by and takes a good look at me. Hey, you got my shit in the back of that truck? Anyway, unmarked car. So, hey everybody, since when does Defiance County have unmarked cars, right? But probably trying to look, oh, is he over too far? Is he on their property? Is he really on their property? Anyway, my appeal, so that was heard Tuesday on the 26th. Now, I'm not sure. I received a paper that said there was going to be no oral argument. I did not need to show up. But I went on the court thing today to see if anything was updated on it, and it said there was a scheduled oral argument. So I might be screwed right there, because I damn sure would have made sure I made it to the oral argument. So I want to know what's up there. You know, how did I get screwed out of that? And that could screw my whole case. And anyways, I'm putting faith in them that they're going to be honest about their shit, judging my case, because I've proven my stuff. And I need that to win. This is all wrong. It's all unlawful. I could give you guys the goods on that. I won't though right now, but I could say a few things on here right now that would have the DOT all over their ass. And these, I don't know if that one's for sale, but these trucks that are for sale, I went in there by them. Hey, if you are a truck driver and thinking about working here for Hornish Brothers Trucking, driving for them, I would 100% advise against it. And if you don't believe me, you can contact any of their drivers and find out. But they're hiring all the time. They pay every day for we're hiring. Every damn day they're paying for the ad. You know, in fact, the day they fired me, they already had an ad. They had an ad before I had the meeting with them. There was already an ad for my job. And people around here know it was on the radio and in the paper. They already had my job posted before I was even in that meeting, before they even supposedly had a reason to fire me, right? That's how dirty and rotten these people are. Dirty, rotten people. Anyways, I'm not getting enough action from the sheriff's department, not getting no responses or anything. So I'm gonna get out of here. They don't want to, I guess they don't want to violate me today. I'm doing everything 100% legal. I'm on public easement. I'm gonna go back this way and then cross the road because obviously these guys are concerned about it. What's he saying about us? What's he saying about us? We're a good company. They're not a good company. I would advise you, they're dirty. And, you know, here's one thing. The one day I threatened to quit, and it wasn't threat, I just went in and said, hey, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks notice. I found a job that's gonna offer me more, that's gonna offer me a better opportunity. And they pleaded with me not to quit, and then ended up offering me more money. And so not to quit. And where was I going with that? Oh, so I went ahead and didn't quit, and took the raise and didn't quit. And then I get kind of insulted. The person didn't mean it to insult me, but one of my coworkers says, two different coworkers called me up. One was Paul, he's a supervisor, and the other one was just a coworker. They called me, you know, get me off the side, talk to me privately or whatever. Say, hey, I want to let you know, did Miss Hornish talk to you? I said, no. Well, I just want to let you know I put in a good word for you. You're probably going to get a raise. And because everybody got a raise. Well, here's what happened. I threatened to quit, and they gave me a raise not to quit. And then they realized they was having an issue with the company, so they went around and gave everybody a raise. And in my opinion, then they should have gave me more of a raise, because I undercut myself by doing that. Because they asked me, what would it take to keep you from coming back in here again and saying you want more money or something else? And I said, okay, here's how much I want. I said, you give me that much, and you know, as long as the economy stays where it's at, you won't hear another word from me. So I did that, and then ended up undercut myself, because then they gave everybody a raise, and then, which put me back, you know, I screwed myself. I could have got more, I guess. And all these guys got raises, and then they're talking to me like I should be thankful to them. And the truth is, they should have been thankful for me, because it was me threatening to quit that caused them to give everybody a raise. But we see where that goes. There's another, they're just driving around all over the place. What's this guy think he's doing? What's this guy think he's doing? He can't do that to us. We're Hornish. He can't film us. He can't walk on the public easement and film us. How dare he? Well, I can tell you about this rotten company, how they screw even the people that they're hauling for. But like I said, they can't get their mouth off Hornish's tit, or off GM's tit, and that's the truth. And because of that, I mean, everybody that works here, it's sad, but eventually everybody's going to be screwed. In fact, if something happened to either of the owners here, they would be, everybody that works here would be screwed. This, just stuff, how they run the company, I'm not going to talk about all that stuff, but they're in serious violation of a lot of stuff. I guess that's enough for now. I guess I'm going to make my way back across the road and back to my vehicle, because obviously the sheriffs don't want none of this. Man, that sucks. Of course, they don't want to talk to me. They've been ignoring me. Right? The sheriff himself, Doug Engel, has 100% ignored me. Deputy Chief Deputy Vandermark 100% ignores me. I've left them both voicemails. You know, I caught Vandermark up there at the auto parts store, and he refuses to, they refuse to do anything. They refuse to do anything. They're in 100% violation, and nobody's going to be here to help. So I'm going to cross over here where it's a little more safe. I'm gonna keep the camera on for a minute because to keep them freaked out, but otherwise I should have walked down the little path. Maybe they would have called about that. I don't care, they can say whatever they want, but I'm not doing nothing illegal, nothing I'm not in the right to do, and I'm waiting for it. Sorry guys, we don't got no real good excitement today. Got an audit with no action. Surely, you know, this just ain't right if anybody pays attention to these auditors. You don't show up to no place without somebody calling the police freaking out. You got a camera out, you got a camera out. Well, he jumped on the phone. I'm sure they called the police. They all been eyeing me, every one of them that drive by. Two sheriffs have driven by and eyed me. 3, the one was in an unmarked car. Okay, but they know I ain't doing something wrong, so they ain't gonna come here and harass me because they don't want to talk to me, because they don't want me getting them on camera talking about the stuff that they stole from me, armed robbery. And anyone who doesn't agree that's armed robbery, wait till it happens to you, because that's exactly what it was, armed robbery. Can't get no action. Too bad we're not allowed to use songs like music, whatever music we want. It's so stupid, copyright stuff, you know. Why shouldn't I be allowed to put on Rolling Stones? Can't get no satisfaction on this. You know, that'd be a perfect video, perfect music for this, since we're not getting no action. You know, no sheriffs. Sheriffs don't want none of this. So anyone watching, you see it, the sheriffs don't want to step up. They don't want to step up. They can violate the fuck out of you, and now when it's time to answer it, they ain't gonna come out here. They're probably telling them not to worry about it. You know, don't worry about it, he's allowed to do that. And why? Because they don't want to be answering to the shit they did. What a pain. I had some other stuff to talk about, and now I don't remember what it all was, so sorry guys. But these guys are rotten, and they are 100% part of how this Defiance County is ran. Wait a minute, I see a new truck turning over here, new diesel truck. Make sure it ain't Mr. Let's see what it is. Hold on a minute. Nah. Shit. All right, guys, I'm done with that. What a waste. But I will. Man, I should have had I need a better microphone for stuff like that when the person's further away and saying something, so you guys can hear what they're saying too. Because I doubt this microphone caught what, especially the angle I got it. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Sorry, this one didn't have too much action in it. The recordings I have on these guys, though, eventually come out. Maybe if they want to step up and honor and do the right thing, you know, that's my whole thing this whole time. I've been more than willing to want to work with these guys, and all of them, you know, hey, something ain't right here, let's fix it. Nobody wants to fix it. They want, oh, you got a problem? Here, let us kick you when you're down. Okay? All it would have simply took, this company, instead of firing me, they could have told the sheriff's department, hey, why don't you let up off this guy? Why are you violating his rights? You know, why'd you come into our company violating his rights? And No, they didn't do that. Instead, they said, oh, he's gonna bitch about you guys violating his rights. Don't worry, we'll fire him.